Relatively smooth session for lawmakers, but the end early this morning was anything but rocky, to say the least. Now some lawmakers are outraged that some of the key bills died just as the clock simply ran out. As the midnight deadline to pass the bills approached, Governor Holcomb tried to sign an order extending the session to 1 o'clock this morning, but after Democrats objected, Republicans adjourned the session, saying it wasn't clear the governor had that authority. The end of the session leaving a sour taste in the mouths of lawmakers.
We just couldn't get to yes on those bills until late, and it wasn't because we weren't here working last night. Our conferees were here working. That wasn't the issue. The issue was we just bogged down on discussions today.
The session seems like a Twinkie. It fills you up, but there's just nothing of real substance or value to it.
All right, so what happened and whose fault is it? Let's get some analysis from our RTV6 political insiders. We have Democrat Kip Toole and conservative commentator Abdul Hakim Shabazz.
Thank you for calling me a conservative. Nice till somebody remembers that.
Oh, no problem. Gentlemen, thanks for being here as always. Abdul, I want to start with you because you were there to the wee hours of the morning. I mean, what happened and whose fault is it?
What happened was the wheels kind of seemed to fall off the bus at the end. Now, the good news is 90% of what they all set out to do got done. Things like CBD oil, Sunday sales, funding for schools because they're experiencing a shortfall in the increase in population. However, money for school safety, which sort of popped up in the middle of the session, that did not get done. And also some tax cuts, some other things that at the end of the day would have been nice to have. Will the world come to an end? No, because we're all still here right now. What happened? The wheels just fell off the bus. People negotiate. They get late. They get cranky. They don't do their job, and they go away.
Okay, well, Kip, we know they have a supermajority. Is this Republicans' fault?
Yeah, I was there as well last night, and I was there for the Rules Committee in the House where the wheels really came off. The Speaker came in and started yelling at people, and other people started yelling back, and it was a pretty unprecedented scene at the legislature. And then after it ended, of course, the Speaker of the House is blaming the Senate, and the Senate's blaming the House, and one member in particular. So it wasn't what I would call a clean ending to the Indiana General Assembly. And there are actually some very important bills that got left on the table that they're going to have to consider whether or not they're going to come back for a special session to deal with.
And speaking of special session, it's been kind of thrown out there, not named specifically. This is an election year. I mean, Abdul, do you think Republicans will be open to this, or are they going to hold off?
I think they'll be open to it. I mean, it's just a matter of, if you do call a special session, what is the agenda? What are you going to focus on? Everybody's got to agree to that. How long do you plan to be here? Because it does cost the taxpayers money to bring all these folks back. And it is not unprecedented. They've actually had to do this before. So it's just a matter of they'll see what can the governor do administratively, then they don't have to come back, but then some legislative things they may have to do, they might.
Okay, and Kip, does this help Democrats get any seats in this upcoming election, or is this red state got a hold on it?
Well, I think that Democrats are, if current trends hold, Democrats are going to gain whether this happened or not, but I think it's another indication that there's chaos inside the Republican Party. It showed itself last night, and it's going to continue on. I think it's part of the Democrats' message. We can govern, they cannot.
I wouldn't go that far. But you got to remember, Republicans, I mean, it is very rare for us to actually have a situation like this. The 9 out of 10 times, session is fine, and we would not be here right now. It's just one of those rare moments like, hey, these guys actually disagree. They're human.
Well, no, I think it has more to do with the chaos in the party. Trump, and you have a president pro tem of the Senate who resigned effective after the session, and so you had them fighting amongst each others to figure out who the successor was going to be. Every caucus they were jockeying for position, and so that's what caused the problem.
All right, gentlemen, we are out of time. Thank you for your analysis. We appreciate it. We'll have to stay tuned to see what happens, but it's time now for some good news, and that's